In 2010, if you admitted that you liked Unleashed in front of Sonic fans, you'd instantly get kicked out of the group, but nowadays, everyone seems to have always loved it. I remember loving this game as a kid and just thinking Werehog was so cool, which I still do, he's just drippy. And I wanted to relive those times, but there was just one tiny issue. You see, the game I played wasn't the polished 360 version with beautiful cutscenes and graphics. It was the Wii one, yeah. But with the help of Unleashed Recomp, I'm able to play this game for the first time almost 20 years after it came out and not feel like I'm playing on a Wii. When you open the game, from the get-go, it shows you a top-tier cutscene, but I don't understand how they didn't notice a very small issue with it. This cutscene is really good, hence why I'm stretching its screen time, but from the moment you open the game, it takes 9 minutes for you to be able to play. And you might be like, I don't know why you're complaining, 9 minutes of this seems pretty cool. Sonic fights Eggman, Eggman traps him, and with the power of the Chaos Emeralds, he fractures the world and turns Sonic into a werewolf. 9 minutes of that wouldn't be bad at all, but that's not what happens. We get 6 minutes of that, then 3 minutes of this goofy cutscene where you land in a place called Apodos. I don't know if that's how you say it. And you're introduced to Chip, the guy who had his memories wiped out and will come with us, giving us very useful advice and not being annoying at all. After that, we have a level that takes less than a minute, and then we have another cutscene that ends with this.
Now what do you say we start asking around and see if anybody here knows you? Okay.
Hey, I gotta talk to NPCs. You see, Sonic Unleashed had this core mechanic of talking to NPCs that I hated with all my guts. Hiya, so how'd you like my ice cream? Best? I don't even... okay. Care. So throughout my playthrough I never really understood if talking to NPCs was necessary or not. I just did it while button mashing and I think it worked, although in the beginning I spent quite some time being lost. Okay, since I have absolutely no clue what to do next, I think I'll call it for today. Either from not reading Chip's 1 in 1,000 helpful tips or from ignoring what the NPCs were telling me. My playthrough involved a lot of trial and error, and if I wasn't streaming this with certified Unleashed pros coming to my chat to help me, I think I would have been miserable. I don't know where I should be going next. Let's just go here. Somehow I hadn't noticed this glowing thing on the map, so I just kept going back and forth looking for what I needed to do next. That was the closest feeling to being a lost tourist I've ever gotten from a video game, and I did not like that at all. But you know what I did like? Nighttime. That's when bad feelings kick in, monsters appear, and Sonic turns into a werewolf. Even though there are many things that I like from the night levels, like the combos, character design, and overall feel of the levels, I feel like my favorite part becomes very obvious if you watch any random segment of my gameplay. Banger! After singing for a little bit, we end up finding out that Tails needs help, so we have to rescue him. It was here where we were introduced to all of the base mechanics of the game and first set of things that I didn't like. How do we grab this? I'm too short. What the hell is that? Just got an egg. We have 5 eggs. What do we do with eggs? Oh, what is this camera angle? Hello, sir. I ate your mother. Haha. She was pretty hilarious. Why can't I break this? What? This is clearly what a breakable prop looks like. And then I can break the vases. What the hell? Can I get in? Oh, now I can break the barrels. What the hell? Holy shit. Yo, what a combo. What? X-Scrambler. Square, square, triangle, triangle, triangle. Square, square, triangle, triangle, triangle. Hey, yo. Let me scramble my eggs. Okay, now... could just... what the fuck was that? Okay, I clicked the wrong button. Bro, stop spinning. After that, we have to defeat a boss, and finally we meet Tails. Tails wants us to fly to a place called Spagonia to meet with Professor Pickle. There we find out Professor Pickle has been kidnapped, so we fly to Missouri to rescue him. And I gotta be honest here, the first night level had the excuse of being a tutorial and was actually decent. But this one, they introduced those pushing and pulling puzzle mechanics, and they made the level so much worse. I don't know if it's just a me thing, but this is the worst Werehog level. All of the puzzles here feel like they're just here to waste my time. I didn't like them. Maybe it was also due to the fact that I kept dying from random mistakes I was making and was forced to redo the boring parts over and over. And I also had to replay this level to look for medals later. I hate this level. But the day stages were cool. After we find Professor Pickle, Eggman comes to Missouri, so we chase him and fight him on a really cool first fight. So overall, although Missouri had a weak start, it was pretty good. We then fly back to Spagonia, and it is here where we are introduced to another mechanic that I didn't quite get why it existed in the first place. When you talk to an NPC, there's a chance they're really sad and they have this thing above their heads. And if for some reason you flash them with the camera, monsters come out. I didn't get why this was in the game. It felt pretty pointless in my opinion. It only forced me to talk to more NPCs, the thing that I love doing. And my camera flashes also had charges, and every time I ran out of charges I would need to go back to talk to Pickle. That would have been fine if I had more than 2 charges. I don't know why they made it like that, but it led to this disturbing cutscene. Like I would have needed to talk to the professor 3 times just from the cutscene. We just beat the monsters up and went to Alaska. Had fun there with the sledge. Great daytime level, 10 out of 10. After that we go on a little night trip to Chunnan, where we end up finding a big ass bird. The fuck is this? We completely beat them up and get the Chaos Emerald back and get a continent back into place. Then we have another great daytime level running around China, and after that we go back to Spagonia to the best daytime level, Rooftop Run. And while I leave this beautiful level in the background, I gotta be honest for a second, most of my daytime level reviews are just great. Because there's really one thing that I dislike about the daytime, and it's quite a common issue, so I can't really judge the levels because of that. But my issue here is Sonic in this game has 2 main features. Besides being able to crouch and jump, he can also boost and perform a homing attack. And if we look at the control screen, we can see that for 4 different abilities, they use 3 buttons. For whatever reason, instead of using Y, here they decided to put 2 very different things together. The homing attack, which is your primary attack in this game, and the dash that makes you go super fast. And when you add that the homing auto target in this game is trash, it creates these scenarios where a target is selected, you press the homing attack button, the target gets deselected before you press the button, and instead of performing a homing attack to your target, you just boost into infinity and a lot of times die or just waste too much time. Near the end of the game, they end up adding a mechanic that uses the Y button called Light Speed Dash, but that thing is almost never necessary, and they could have made a better workaround instead of combining the 2 most used abilities into 1 button. But the day levels design-wise are great, they're always great, so there isn't much for me to say, but Rooftop Run, this level is amazing, banger OST, beautiful map, overall design, 10 out of 10, fun, and I could keep going on, best level by far. And then I had to fight this thing, so I ran around in circles to get another emerald back and fix another part of the world. Then we moved to Alaska, to one of the chillest night levels in the game, where we had to melt things with fire and slide down stuff. I also find out I could use the square X combo to save myself in case I was falling, but I did it by complete accident, and I just sprint this. I dodged. Oh, there's a medal there. Oh. What a clutch, what the hell? I didn't even knew I could do that. The level then led us to fight this thing, and it took me way longer than what I would like to admit, because for some reason I just couldn't see the clearly marked weak spot, that one. So I was just lost, and I was also trying to reply to someone trying to sell me stuff on Kick, because the week that I started to stream this, I also started to multi-stream on Kick. So every stream I just had people coming over saying my stream was really nice. It was a shame that I had 0 viewers and 5 followers. You can also follow me on Kick if you want. Yeah, they just kept giving me some sweet talk, and then they would try to sell me either viewers, I don't know, a mentorship, or like 2010 overlays. Yeah, that isn't the best business model. But anyways, this doesn't add to the Sonic experience. I didn't even script this part. I just thought it would be funny to add because it was annoying me a lot. Going back to Sonic, Eggman then does something that makes us go to Shamar, to another great day level that made me die too many times until I figured out the level. And I don't think I can blame the level for that, that's just on me. From this point on, we start flying back and forth between Shamar and the Empire City, doing some parkour on flying poles and beating people up on rooftops, then beating people up in this place, I don't know what to call it, but it had these fire mages that needed to take a barrel to the head to become regular mages. And this level had so many bees. I hate this mob so much. Like, I haven't said anything about this, but the bees are by far the worst mob in the game. Whoever designed this should be fired. Most of the time you can't even hit them. Why are they like this? After dealing with bees, we needed to push these cubes, which was a rather unique boss fight. And we get another emerald back and a continent back in place. Going back to America, we run on some highways and skyscrapers. Pretty cool. We do all of that to unlock a new region, Arabat. A tropical island region whose night levels felt like a mix of Chonan and Holaska, except less chill. Then we ran on water, that was pretty cool. We fought this huge ass thing with laser beams and bombs again. And after restoring another continent and emerald, Chip, this guy, gets his memories back. Turns out he's Light Gaia, the counterpart to Dark Gaia, that thing destroying the world, the purple one, creating monsters. And Chip is supposed to fight it. He wants to leave us, so we kidnap him to help him fight Dark Gaia. But before we do that, there's still a piece of land left to get back in place, Eggman Land. Now, throughout my playthrough, people kept teasing me on how famous or infamous the last level was for being one of the most frustrating things to pass, and I had no idea what they were talking about. I didn't knew. I kept mentioning that I had no idea what the last level was, so everyone was very vague about it, which was cool, and I came in blind to the level, and god damn, the reason why this level is so infamous is because how long this level is. You start the level sprinting and beating some people up, then you turn into a werehog, beat some people up, a little bit of parkour and beat a lot more people. You turn back into Sonic to do some 2D platforming, and surprisingly enough, you don't beat that many people. That is until you get on a sick roller coaster that turns into a sledge. Here you don't even beat them up, you just run them over until you lose the sledge and end up having to beat them up. Just some very enjoyable pipe balancing parkour. Beat some people, more parkour, more beatings, and then you go back into Sonic 2D platforming, then sliding into some quick time events, running on a treadmill, more 2D and quick time events, then you fall into a pit of laser beams, turn into a werehog, brawl a lot, and I mean a lot. I was just fighting them non-stop until I figured out, or someone told me, that I needed to break this pink wall that was right in front of me the whole time. So you just have fun with slides and do a little bit of parkour, beat up more people, and then you'll get into the final boss's room, kill it, and you're done. Easy, right? It only took me 1 hour and 42 minutes to beat. Okay, that's only half true. To beat the level in one go, it took me 42 minutes. The 1 hour and 40 minutes only happened because during my first attempt, I lost at the very end on a part that isn't even a main part of the stages. People aren't supposed to die here. It was after the longest quick time event in the game that I kept failing and getting surprised by because my brain was a mush. And then I kept dying over and over. Although this level is very long, throughout it, the developers keep giving you lives so people can actually finish the level. But since this wasn't the main part where people were supposed to die over and over, there were no lives here. So yeah, I died. I jumped off the map, boosted off the map, got pushed off the map. Somehow it happened twice, and then I got smashed by this. I was not happy, but I pushed through and went for it again. Although not in the cleanest or fastest way, I eventually beat the final boss here and we get the emeralds and the continent back. But now Eggman shows up, so we beat him. And then Dark Gaia pulls up, so Chip locks in and he uses his powers to gather all the temples all across the globe to build a mecha so he can have a chance against Dark Gaia. This fight was interesting, I guess. We only had to dodge these huge fireballs and laser beams, press buttons to hit Dark Gaia, and then Sonic would run in. This would repeat 3 times, but on the very last part of this cycle, the last Sonic part, here I came in with 2 lives and this happened. No way. I only have 1 more life. Of course. No! Fucking hell. No! Yep, I lost. After being live for 6 hours to finish this game, I quit. I was done. I closed the game, and that was it. No Supersonic for me, no Epic Endless Possibilities Orchestra, nothing. I just never finished it. Although this was a rather disappointing conclusion to this video. I really don't want to open the game back just to replay that, so I guess I'll have to end it here. And now there's only one thing left for you to do. Subscribe here and follow me on Twitch. I may end this game one day. Bye bye. Thank you for watching. My voice is dying.